Okay, welcome to the lesson today. I hope you can see everything on this board. I want to talk about two verbs today, offer and suggest. They're both reporting verbs, so this is the second lesson in a series of lessons about reporting verbs. My students make lots of mistakes with these two words, and it's because most of my students are Russian students and they generally use the same verb for both of these two verbs. And so it's quite confusing. So I want you to remember two words: help for offer and plan for suggest. When you suggest doing something, you suggest a plan. Normally it's something like, let's go home, let's go to the cinema, let's do this, let's do that. Doesn't matter what it is, but you are suggesting a plan which the other person should consider and say, yes, that's a good idea, or no, I don't want to do that. So suggestions are always about plans. Offer is when you offer, it's often a question, it's because you're offering some kind of help, and they can refuse or agree to help you. It's their decision, so it's not a plan to consider, it's help. They can accept your help or refuse your help. So look at my examples. He offered to take my suitcases. We must use 2 plus infinitive after offer. It's 2 plus infinitive. I'll speak about the other grammatical structure in a moment, but he offered to take my suitcases. It's very unlikely to be he suggested taking my suitcases, because he's offering help here. He's not suggesting it as a plan for me to consider. He's offering some help and he's saying, can I take your suitcases? It's a question. That's why I put a question up here. Can I take your suitcases? So he offered to take my suitcases. A suggestion would be something like this. They suggested going out to a restaurant. They're not offering help. They are suggesting a plan. They are suggesting that maybe it would be a good idea tonight to go to a restaurant. Okay? So I hope you can see the difference here. This is he's offering help. He's offering to take my suitcases, and here they're suggesting a plan. Now, I've tried to use two very similar sentences here, but slightly different. I offered to take him home. I am offering him help. But I could say, I suggested going home. I'm not offering help in this sentence. That's the difference. I'm just suggesting that maybe it's a good idea to go home. So the suggestion would be something like, let's go home. But if I make an offer, it's always a question. It's something like, shall I take you home? Can I take your suitcases? Shall I get you a drink? Shall I get you a glass of water? You are offering help. You're offering to make them a drink. You're offering them a glass of water. And here we see the second formation. Offer plus pronoun, offer me, offer him, offer them, plus noun, a glass of water. So he offered to buy me a drink, or he offered me a drink, or he offered us some help, or he offered them some money. So there are two different ways you can use offer, and very often that means there are two different sentences you can use. But the same for suggest. In fact, there are more. You can use gerund with suggest. Don't use 2 plus infinitive. That is a very typical mistake. You can use that after suggest. And if you want to say to whom the suggestion was made, and many students do, then you need to use the that form and say to me, to him, to them. I suggested to him that we go to a restaurant, or I suggested to him that we do business together. Okay, so I've just put the different possibilities down here with suggest. You could say I suggested going home and use the gerund form, or you could say I suggested that we go home. Now you can actually use that we went home as well. You can use past simple because this is a hypothetical. Not really much difference in meaning between these two. Just know that they're both possible. Or that we should go home, which I think is a bit clumsy, but it is used. So with all of these we could say I suggested to him that we go home. I suggested to them that we went home. I suggested to the class that we should go home. Okay? I hope that makes these two verbs clearer. There should be a quiz under the video, but of course the only way to learn these two verbs correctly and how to use them correctly is to use them. So please start speaking with these two verbs and think every time, is it help or is it a plan? That's the main way to see the difference. Okay, I hope that you've enjoyed this lesson. Please press the button to subscribe if you would like to see more lessons. I'm going to be making lots more each week, and I hope to see you all again soon. Thanks for watching.